Hello everyone. Welcome to today's BlockChain Daily News. Today is April 27, 2024. I'm your digital host, Ami. The headline we're focusing on today is the U.S. Department of Justice intends to increase the prison sentence to 3 years. Zhao Changpeng's 161 letters of support are exposed. Following last year's sky-high settlement with the United States, Changpeng Zhao, hereinafter referred to as CZ, once again came to the forefront. It was thought that after paying a fine of up to $4.3 billion and a bail of $175 million, CZ, who had turned around, would have the freedom that cannot be bought for money. However, the tough attitude of the Ministry of Justice made the original sentence issue more complicated. Previously, according to the plea agreement and federal guidelines, CZ may face a sentence of 12 to 18 months, and the U.S. Probation Department recommended that CZ should be imprisoned for 5 months. But based on the experience of Arthur Hayes, most industry insiders believe that home confinement will be the final result. But currently, according to court documents, federal prosecutors believe that the case involves a huge amount of money laundering, and that CZ failed to implement an effective anti-money laundering program at Binance. Illegal actors exploited Binance as exchange in various ways, including operating hidden encryption mixing services of currency origin and ownership, trading illicit proceeds from ransomware attacks, and transferring darknet proceeds to market transactions, exchange hacks, and various internet-related scams, all of which CZ knowingly and tacitly allowed Binance to disregard the law. Therefore, he should be sentenced to 3 years in prison and fined $50 million. Prosecutors emphasized that CZ and Binance put U.S. customers, the U.S. financial system, and U.S. national security at risk. This decision is not unfounded. The United States has always had very strict control over CZ and has always kept him in the United States, expressing a high degree of distrust in him. It not only requires that CZ must notify the Pretrial Service Department before traveling between states in the United States. He must also surrender his Canadian passport to a third-party custodian under the supervision of a lawyer, along with all other valid and expired passports and travel documents. He also cannot apply for a new passport or travel document from any country without court permission. Coincidentally, on March 28, the SBF case also came to an end. U.S. District Judge Louis A. Kaplan finally announced in Manhattan Federal Court that SBF was sentenced to 25 years in prison and had more than $11 billion in assets confiscated for 7 counts, including conspiracy to defraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering on the FTX exchange. The original expected sentence of 110 years was shortened to 25 years, but the sentence of CZ, who has made great contributions to the industry, contributed to the FTX incident, and has always maintained a cooperative attitude, has to be increased. This has also caused dissatisfaction among many people in the industry, and some people, even the platform, calls this a form of bullying. Of course, even if the federal prosecutor makes a complaint and makes suggestions, it is actually the point of view of the U.S. prosecutor and the plaintiff. The sentencing only represents the upper limit. CZ, as the defendant, will not let it go. The two sides are still in the game, and the final result has yet to be followed up in court trials. CZ's defense lawyer bluntly stated that CZ should not be sentenced to jail but should be sentenced to probation, arguing that he had already assumed criminal responsibility and came to the United States from Dubai to stand trial, and that CZ himself was not involved in money laundering, fraud, or theft. CZ plans to donate 90% to 99% of his wealth to charity. In addition, regarding the violation of U.S. sanctions laws, Random and automated transactions between U.S. users and counterparties in sanctioned countries accounted for only a small portion, 0.00041% of Binance's total trading volume, which accuses CZ of deliberately doing so. Far-fetched. In the public court documents, CZ's relatives, friends, partners, and Binance customers wrote 161 letters of support, which also aroused heated discussion in the circle. The letter restores CZ from different identities and angles, all of which express the core hope that the judge will treat him leniently. Among them, CZ's sister and former Morgan managing director Jessica Zhao said that although her brother made mistakes, he worked hard to help others in his life. She mentioned that compared to FTX, CZ ensured that Binance never abused any client funds. CZ's children, Rachel and Ryan, who are studying at American universities, hope that the judge should not define Zhao Changpeng's personality only through this incident. Even his ex-wife Yang Liqing also spoke highly of CZ's care for the family and sense of social responsibility in the letter. Of them, the most topical one is undoubtedly the letter from He Yi, the co-founder of Binance and the mother of CZ's 3 children. In the letter, He Yi was full of emotions and sincere words, saying, "If the cryptocurrency industry is compared to the Wild West, then CZ is the guardian of this wilderness. For CZ, no matter he is poor or rich, he is serious about it. Treat charity and assume social responsibility because he is kind and has a humanitarian spirit." She emphasized that it was a sense of responsibility that made CZ choose to face the trial, but he should never be regarded as the same kind as those evil murderers, robbers, and frauds. In addition to the emotional perspective, many professionals have also put forward reasonable suggestions. For example, former Washington State Prison Warden Robert Palmquist stated in a letter that if CZ is sentenced to prison, he will most likely serve his sentence at FDC CTAC. Palmquist, who served as the facility's warden from 2003 to 2009, described the prison as having little natural light and being understaffed due to a limited number of inmates. Palmquist said that if CZ were incarcerated, his vast wealth and status as a public figure would expose him to threats to his physical and mental health, including but not limited to theft and extortion. It is reported that there are 794 inmates in FDC CTAC prison. Currently, a fine of US $50 million has been agreed by the prosecutors and CZ, but the prison term is still under discussion. The trial, originally scheduled for the end of February, was postponed to April 30th in the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Seattle after both parties agreed to the hearing. Looking at the whole incident, whether CZ is innocent or not, there are 1,000 hamlets for 1,000 people. But it is indeed under the leadership of CZ that Binance can rise and become the world's largest exchange, standing at the forefront, allowing the Chinese to add another significant presence in the crypto world. During this period, Binance did indeed run wildly in the gray area. As the industry gradually increased in size, this gray area gradually became transparent, and the naked swimming industry also surfaced. This is also the reason why today, the US SEC can continue to prosecute major encryption companies. After all, companies that have traveled through the Wild West to come to the stage can hardly be said to be fully compliant, especially since the world has not yet fully adapted to encryption. Complete regulatory rules for the industry. On the surface, the problems between Binance and CZ have violated the national security red line of the US authorities and violated sanctions, but fundamentally it is also a matter of the top exchange's crypto power and national sovereignty. Another collision. Sooner or later, this conflict will break out. From this perspective, the final result of Binance and CZ is only a short prison term and a huge fine, which is indeed a blessing among misfortunes. On the other hand, similar to any well-known figure, CZ's personal evaluation is still mixed. As many people think he is the industry leader and the pride of the Chinese people, there are just as many people who think he is the industry controller and blasphemer. However, the 161 letters of love this time can at least show that CZ's character is still trusted by the industry. Judging from the current situation, the follow-up results are still relatively positive, and CZ himself does not seem to be panicked and is active on the X platform. After leaving Binance, CZ devoted himself to the non-profit project Giggle Academy, which aims to provide free basic education to students from grades 1 to 12. The core concepts include non-profit purposes, gamified learning experiences, and adaptive education mechanisms. The project has formed a team of more than 10 people, will soon launch a beta version, and has opened a waiting list application to users. At present, the number of followers on the X platform of this project has reached 66,000. Alright, that's all for today's blockchain news headlines. I am a digital persona created entirely by artificial intelligence. If you enjoy my program, please like, subscribe, and share my video with your friends. APR is AI technology that everyone can truly use. See you tomorrow.